Hey, what it does. Torens Take. I don't even know which take it is anymore. Honestly, it's just, they're all melding together. It's a new take. That's all we know what it does. Today, so based off my 2010 Olympic video, 10 years down the road, still can't believe it's been 10 years since those Olympics. But now, there's a thought that came up. 10 years into the future, the 2030 Winter Olympics in Vancouver. Yes, the possibility is out there. John Furlong, of course, the CEO of VanOck, came out on February 22nd, 21st, maybe, and said he was going to go to Vancouver city councilors and say, let's do it again. I think it's a great idea. And obviously the city said they would look at it, and mayor of Vancouver said it was a fun idea. He wants to do a referendum and get, provincial and federal support and all that stuff, which is fair. But this idea that, I guess John Furlong has, but the idea that Vancouver should host the 2030 Olympics is an amazing idea. 100%. This should happen. Why? Simple. We're ready. We could almost host the games tomorrow. That's how ready this place is. Now, some of the things I've heard as to why we shouldn't host the games, which are totally fair reasons, such as homelessness, such as the housing crisis. I don't really know how the opioid crisis plays into the Olympics. I guess putting money towards helping it, I guess. Anyway, these are problems that Vancouver, yes, does need to fix. They haven't yet, and I don't know why they haven't. I don't know why it's taking so long for them to goddamn fix any of this, but anyway, we're still here. But you look at the 2030 Olympics, that what could be. Think about it. Think about what Vancouver has ready to go. So we have, obviously, take the mountains out. We're ready. Mountains are ready. We have the hockey. We have Rogers Arena. We have Pacific Coliseum, which was not a hockey arena, oddly enough. It was actually the short track and figure skating arena. So you could do that. We used Doug Mitchell out at UBC to be the mostly women's hockey and some men's hockey on that ice. So hockey, short track, figure skating, already taken care of. That was already taken care of in 2010. Long track, Richmond Oval. And you're thinking, what? The Richmond Oval, they converted it. They did, but guess what? They made it so you can flip it right back like that. So you're right back there. Long track speed skating, Richmond Oval, ready to go. Ready to go. That's a big one. Now, BC Place, fancy new renovated BC Place. It wasn't renovated in 2010. Now it is. You could maybe host a different type of opening ceremony here. We're ready to go with the medal ceremonies, opening, closing, all that junk is ready to go. So there's all the sports covered. And we didn't have to spend a dime. We haven't had to spend a dime yet. And we were already ready to host sports. Now you're thinking, but the Olympic Village. They sold it all to people. Yeah, okay, you do have to build a new Olympic Village. Weird. You have to do that. And then what you do with it afterward, you could sell it. You know what? You may not even sell it. You could almost make it a homeless community. There's an idea. Make it a homeless community. Social housing. I don't know. It's the stuff that I don't know. But you could make it into something that one of the issues is, right? One of the issues that you're talking about that is a problem. You could use this housing as it. Perfect opportunity. You're double whammy. It's obvious. So you have to build that. So what? That'll help in the long run. That'll be a legacy thing. It'll be a longevity thing. Okay, you have to spend money on security. That's fair. All right. So we have two things we have to pay for. The last Olympics costed $4 billion. That's a lot of money. But they built a new sea-to-sky highway from Vancouver to Whistler. They built the Richmond Oval, a lot of infrastructure, transit, everything, Canada Line. They had to build a lot of stuff. So that incorporates into the $4 billion. You don't have to build any of that. That price tag just skyrocketed down completely. Like I'm going to try and go into a devil's advocate here, but I honestly just proved myself like that this just doesn't make sense not to host them. So anyway, you have that. Vancouver could host the games tomorrow. It's all ready to go, and that's why it's a great idea. You look into other things, like I said, those issues that people were talking about. The housing crisis / homelessness problem could be batched into that one, I do think. And to be honest, I just don't like those problems that were listed by those people that they called it the was it the anti-Olympics? Forget what it was called. Where was it? Poverty Olympics. That's what it was called. They had their own mascots and everything, and it's like, she's right. The money that could be spent on the Olympics could be put to these issues to be solved, but we should be doing that anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be one or the other. We should just be doing it all. And, to say the money's not there to do it all, it's kind of silly. It's there. We can do it. So why not at the end of the day? And I'm going to put this pretty bluntly because I'm really pretty darn sure it's going to happen. So when the Olympics realizes, like the IOC realizes that their current model doesn't work or isn't working, it's going away. More cities than ever are choosing not to host the games. You think of Stockholm a couple of years ago was going for a bid. The people shot it down. Calgary going for 2026. The people shot it down. So there's a growing problem of, cities not wanting to do it, which is totally fair. You don't want to host, that's fine. So I do think when or if, still it's not a thing, the Olympics decides to go to more rotational hosting, that Vancouver could be the number one spot that the IOC circles in the calendar, circles in their rotational cities. Why not? We're ready. So why not host it in 2030 if we're going to be on that list? Like I said, this is completely hypothetical, but Vancouver's on that list. The IOC knows how ready we are. So they're going to put us on that list. Like, for example, let's say we'll start in 2030. That's when the rotational starts. So 2030, Vancouver hosts. 2034, you go to a different country, or not even like just a different continent. You might go back to Asia. You might go to Pyeongchang for a Winter Olympics. 2038, you then go to, what would you say, somewhere in Europe, like Chamonix, maybe, Innsbruck, something like that. And then maybe for the fourth city, you fall back into the U.S., maybe Lake Placid, Salt Lake City, maybe. You could even have a fifth city there if you wanted to. So think about that. If Vancouver hosts in 2030, they now have 1, 2, 3, 4 Olympic cycles before they host it again. Which is, what, 20 years? Between games? Like, that's a long time. And it's more than enough time to upgrade, fix problems that are happening because you're getting them again. So when and if, like I said, they do this, I think it's going to be a great idea, and Vancouver's going to be on it. This is just a perfect precursor to that. Like, the fact that Vancouver doesn't have to do anything, like if we had to rebuild everything, yeah, okay, I might question it a bit. We don't have to build anything. Like, we're ready to go. 2030 should be in Vancouver, and it should be hosted right here. Now, you're probably thinking, who are other candidates that are going to go for it? So, you have Sapporo, Japan, which has hosted before. they'd be okay. Salt Lake City, we all know what happened in 2002, and if you don't know, that was completely corrupt. That whole thing was corrupt. That's what the IOC made. That's when they made big wholesale changes to kind of fix that. I know a lot of people say the IOC is still corrupt, and I'm not going to say it's not corrupt. I just don't think it's as corrupt as it once was. Salt Lake City is in there. Barcelona is also in there. There was a fourth city that I don't quite remember I don't know. There was a fourth city. And the thing that Vancouver had over all of them is how ready we were. Salt Lake, again, they're a little ready. They'd have to upgrade a lot. They'd have to spend more money than us, so unless they bought it again. Sapporo, again, they have the stuff there. The ski jumping. They have all that stuff. It's ready, but again, you'd have to build something. They would be coming off Tokyo. That's happening this year, obviously. Barcelona is a weird one to me. It's kind of like Beijing. I don't know. You don't think of winter when you think of Barcelona, Spain, do you? It's just a little odd. Yeah. Anyway, so you look at all of them. What do you think the IOC is going to look at? I just think Vancouver is going to look very favorable in the eyes of the IOC. They're just going to, they're ready. They can do it. If they really scrambled, say a couple cities were dropping out, I just think Vancouver would just be such a perfect opportunity, and we're ready. That's the key in all of this. Vancouver is ready for the Olympics. So why not? Vancouver 2030. Host it. Let's do it. Let's host the games again. We all remember how great the 2010 Olympics were. And this would be a good chance for people who are maybe too young to know about 2010, people who weren't here during 2010, or maybe the people that went away over 2010, to get a quick buck by renting out their place and realizing that was a dumb idea. They might get to experience that again. And I think it would be cool for a lot of people to see the Olympics again. It would be 20 years since one, A lot can happen in 20 years. A lot has happened since 2010 alone, and it's been 10 years. So I think I just can't. I can't see why Vancouver shouldn't host the 2030 Olympics. I had somebody on Twitter being such an idiot about it. Bringing politics into it. Bro, I don't care about politics. She was just dumb. But anyway. Vancouver should host the 2030 Olympics. That's what I'm saying. That's my take. That's probably my biggest take of all. Making picks and, different ideas, giving my thoughts on things. But this was a true take. Vancouver should host the 2030 Olympics. Period. Book it. And you know what? I think we're going to. I really do. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. If you have a chance, if you're voting in this referendum that the mayor says we need to do, you're going to vote yes because it's smart. 2030 Olympics should happen. Bring them back to Vancouver. It'll be a great spectacle. We'll do it again. We'll be even better this time. I'm so excited. I really hope this comes true. I'm excited. All right, guys. What it does. Have a good one. Let's go, Vancouver.